Today we're speaking with Hamish Knox, amazing Sandler trainer from Calgary, Alberta. Hamish, let's just get right into it. So, who is Ham and how much like him are you?
Do you get it? Ham-ish? No? Nothing?
So, Hamish, listen, it's pretty obvious right now that change is everywhere in our world right now. And you wrote two of my absolute favorite Sandler books, Accountability and Change. So tell me, how does change factor in right now in our world?
Thanks for asking, Nema. Change is external and impersonal. So, we go to our offices today and we don't go to our offices tomorrow. That's change. Humans don't change, they transition. There's 4 stages of transition. It's denial, resistance, exploration, and commitment. Now, typically, leaders go through those stages months before their people because they're thinking of putting together a new benefits plan or a new comp plan. And they go through all those stages way back when they started. And I wrote the book to support them in understanding how to address those stages when they roll out the change. The challenge we're having right now is everybody's going through the stages of transition at once, and leaders forget that everyone goes through those stages faster or slower than everybody else. And some people are never going to make it through one of those stages. So as leaders, we may be all the way out to exploration or maybe even commitment. And we've got some people on our team who are at least in resistance, if not denial. And we're looking over our shoulder going, why the heck can't you catch up? It's because they're not prepared to take that step forward.
So that's really interesting. So as leaders, what can we really do to kind of help facilitate that change if everyone's kind of going at their own pace?
Number one thing is to really understand everybody's personal goals. The Vision 2020 that all of us had when we set up our goals for the year, whether that was in December or whether that was in January, we don't need to throw that out. It's just been altered a little bit. However, human beings, because of our scripting, we say, oh, well, things have changed, so I got to throw that whole thing out the door. That's not true. We may need to extend the deadlines or the endpoints for some of the goals that we had on our Vision 2020, but they're not necessarily useless anymore. And if we can understand what the personal goals are for every single person on our team, we can be better able to motivate them and continue them working towards their goals, because they're going to work towards their goals a lot harder than they're going to work towards a corporate goal.
Yeah, so that makes a ton of sense to me. So how does accountability factor in, and are they interrelated? Is there a change piece and accountability piece? Was there almost a theme when you were writing these two books, obviously far before you ever had COVID-19 on your radar?
Fair enough. The transition piece is the most critical because it's the squishy emotional stuff that some leaders struggle to manage. It used to be that you left everything at the door of the office when you came in, and you left everything at the door of the office when you went home. And that's hasn't been true for decades probably. And there's a phrase that I really love called work-life integration. There is no such thing as work-life balance, but there is work-life integration. And our work life is now being seriously integrated with our home life because we're now typically working at home. So as leaders, we've got to understand and expect that our team members are going through these stages. They're going through a lot of emotions. Also, the people in their homes are going through a lot of emotions as well. And those individuals may be further ahead or behind on the stages of transition as our team member. So it's a lot of understanding. It's a lot of help me understand, tell me more about that. But at the same time, transitioning to accountability, not letting our team members stop. Our brain is wired to keep us safe. And right now our brain wants to keep us safe by getting us to stop, because where we are now is safe. We don't even know what's one step ahead of us. So our brain wants us to stop. But there's that law of physics that we talk a lot about with our clients, which is objects in motion stay in motion. And right now, it's very critical to hold our people and ourselves as leaders accountable to staying in motion. Even those little baby steps, we tell our clients to be better than zero every single day. And if that means that all you do is one push-up for exercise, or you make one prospecting call, or as a leader, you give one stroke to a team member, you're staying in motion, and you're much more likely to be at the crest of the wave when things turn around, as opposed to stopping and needing a massive amount of energy to get going when your competitors are so much farther ahead of you.
Hamish, I love that. If you were to kind of give just one behavior, one attitude, and one technique that a leader could engage in starting tomorrow to help deal with this change and accountability challenges that are in our world right now, what would those be?
So number one attitude is to be better than zero. Keep the ball in motion. Keep moving up towards your mountaintop. So mantra for all the leaders and all of their team members is be better than zero. From a behavior perspective, look at the proactive activities that have made you successful in the past. From a leadership perspective, it's probably things like proactive coaching, proactive role play, recruiting. Lots of our clients are still hiring people. So keep those proactive activities going on a daily basis. If it was going to be anything, it would be role playing with the team, especially now when there's all sorts of different objections coming up. Getting our teams prepared before they go out prospecting and selling is crucial to their success. And the technique is the upfront contract. Very clear expectations upfront with each member of your team and yourself as to who's going to do what by when. And the critical thing with accountability, what are the consequences for not being accountable? And that doesn't mean you're going to let them go, but it does mean that they're likely not going to be hitting their personal goals in the time frame that they wanted to.
Hamish, thanks so much for sharing that with us. So Sandler Worldwide Shoutouts, we're going to be speaking with rockstar Sandler trainers from around the world, best-selling authors from around the world. For those of you who want to learn more, please go out and buy Hamish's books, Change and Accountability the Sandler Way. As Hamish mentioned, let's be better than zero. Let's have the attitude that people do process things at different rates. And technique-wise, make sure we have clear expectations throughout our sales and management process. Hope this was helpful. Have a great day, good selling, and good luck.